Bonjour! Today in French class, we are going to review the vocabulary we've learned over the last 3 lessons, including the negative, which is technically not like vocabulary, it's technically grammar. So we're going to review the words that we've learned and how to use them in the negative as well. First, however, we're going to try a little bell work. So what I'd like you to do is pause your recording while you're watching it and answering it, and then press pause, and we'll go over it together. Okay, les réponses. Non, je ne suis pas au cinéma. Right? No, I am not at the movie theater. Je ne suis pas au cinéma. 2. Non, Madame n'est pas en France. Madame n'est pas en France. I am not in France. Numéro 3. Non, Monsieur Stafford n'est pas en vacances. Monsieur Stafford n'est pas en vacances. Ne and pas around the A, n'est pas. Numéro 4. Non, nous ne sommes pas à New York. Again, sommes is the verb. We put the ne in front of the somme and the pas after the somme, and we get nous ne sommes pas à New York. So you can see that in every one, right? The top one, je ne suis pas. I am not. 2, Madame n'est pas. She isn't. 3, Monsieur Stafford n'est pas. Isn't. 4, nous ne sommes pas à New York. So you can see exactly how the ne and the pas are used there, and hopefully you use those correctly. If not, correct them in your notebook so that next time you look, you can see the correct answer. We're going to do today's independent work here on the video instead of a Google Doc because we're going to use Flipgrid. So some of the practice you're going to do aloud while you're watching the video. Others should be written in your notebook. I'll tell you what to do. The instructions will tell you how to do each exercise. And then later we're going to use Flipgrid to read a little something. So, speaking practice. Answer the following questions in the negative, beginning each sentence with non. For example, est-ce que tu aimes le jus de raisin? You're going to answer negative. You're going to say, non, je n'aime pas le jus de raisin. Let's try another one. Est-ce que tu aimes danser? Non, je n'aime pas le jus de raisin. I went up and down. Non, je n'aime pas danser. Je n'aime pas danser. Okay, now you do the next one. Est-ce que tu aimes nager? These should be familiar to you. Non, je n'aime pas nager. Est-ce qu'il aime travailler? Non, il n'aime pas travailler. Est-ce qu'elle aime jouer au tennis? Non, elle n'aime pas jouer au tennis. Est-ce qu'il aime jouer au basket? Non, it should be il, right? Non, il n'aime pas jouer au basket. Est-ce que tu aimes, should not have an il here. Est-ce que tu aimes jouer au foot? Non, je n'aime pas jouer au foot. Je n'aime pas jouer au foot. Est-ce qu'il aime jouer aux jeux vidéo? Non, il n'aime pas jouer aux jeux vidéo. Might ask yourself, why is he doing it if he doesn't like it? But non, il n'aime pas jouer aux jeux vidéo. Est-ce qu'elle aime étudier? Est-ce qu'elle aime étudier? Non, elle n'aime pas étudier. Elle n'aime pas étudier. Est-ce que tu aimes regarder la télé? Non, je n'aime pas regarder la télé. Je n'aime pas regarder la télé. Est-ce qu'il aime dîner au restaurant? Est-ce qu'elle aime dîner au restaurant? Non, elle n'aime pas dîner au restaurant. Elle n'aime pas dîner au restaurant. Est-ce que tu aimes écouter la radio? Non, je n'aime pas écouter la radio. Est-ce que tu aimes voyager? Non, je n'aime pas voyager. Okay, now we're going to just practice our vocabulary in and of itself. We're going to translate each word or phrase into French. And remember, you can pause at any time if you need more time. You can also use your notes when we're doing these exercises. It's not a quiz. Only when I tell you it's a quiz or a test can you not use your notes. So, how do I say there? Là. Here. Ici. Over there. là-bas. In Paris? À Paris. In class? En classe. In town or downtown? En ville. Excellent. Here we go. On vacation. En vacances. In France? En France. At the cafe? Au café. At the restaurant? Au restaurant. At the movies? Au cinéma. At home? À la maison. Super. At is à, right? We just want to review really quickly the little words we learned yesterday. À is at or in, right? De is from or of. Say it after me. De. De. We did these yesterday. We're just going to review them real quick. Et is and. Répétez. Et. Et. Or is ou. Ou. So say them after me. With is avec. Avec. Pour is for. Pour. 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 But is mais. 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 At, à, right? We did all of those. Great. We've done the following two exercises before, but this time instead of writing them, we're going to do them out loud. So we're practicing speaking what we wrote yesterday. So we have 6 questions here that need to be answered negatively, in the negative, non, right? Let's do the first one together. Est-ce que tu es Canadien? You're just going to take the tu es Canadien, that's the part that's in your sentence, but you need to put the ne and the pas around the verb, and you'll end up with non, je ne suis pas Canadien. Je ne suis pas Canadien. Let's try number 2. Est-ce que tu es à Québec? So answer this out loud. Est-ce que tu es à Québec? And all the tu's turn into je's, remember. Non, je ne suis pas à Québec. Je ne suis pas à Québec. Numéro 3. Est-ce que tu es à la maison? Est-ce que tu es à la maison? Non, je ne suis pas à la maison. You'll see a pattern here. I am not. Je ne suis pas. That's a little phrase you want to make sure you know. Je ne suis pas. I am not. Est-ce que tu es au café? Numéro 4. Est-ce que tu es au café? Non, je ne suis pas au café. Je ne suis pas au café. Numéro 5. Est-ce que tu es en vacances? Est-ce que tu es en vacances? Non, je ne suis pas en vacances. Dommage, which means it's a shame. Non, je ne suis pas en vacances. Malheureusement, unfortunately. Et numéro 6, est-ce que tu es au cinéma? Est-ce que tu es au cinéma? J'aimerais bien. I would like it very much. Non, je ne suis pas au cinéma. Je ne suis pas au cinéma. Same one we did yesterday, right? It's raining. François suggests to his friends that they go to the movies. Say who agrees and who does not. We're using an expression être d'accord. You just conjugate être, je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, like you do normally, and d'accord after it means I agree or I'm in agreement with you. Let's look at 1 and 2 together, and then you can go on and do the rest. So number 1, nous. So if I want to say nous, we don't agree, I'm going to use the nous and then the nous form of être. So I'm going to have nous sommes d'accord. Nous sommes d'accord. Number 2 is je. I'm going to take je with to be. So je suis d'accord. Je suis d'accord. Let's do number 3 together just because it's the only negative one, and then I'll leave you the rest. Tu. Now this one's not going to be tu es, it's going to be tu and then the ne and pas put around a. Tu n'es pas d'accord. You don't agree. Tu n'es pas d'accord. Tu n'es pas d'accord. You try number 4. Vous and a negative face. Let's try it. Vous n'êtes pas d'accord. So look what we did. We found the right form of être with vous, right? It's et. So vous êtes, you are. But now I want to put the ne and the pas around the et. I have to use an apostrophe because there's a vowel. Vous n'êtes pas d'accord. You don't agree. Vous n'êtes pas d'accord. I could make it a question. Vous n'êtes pas d'accord? You don't agree? Numéro 5, Patrick et Marc. So you're saying they do agree. Patrick et Marc sont d'accord. Ils sont d'accord. They agree. 2 people, right? 2 guys, it has to be sont. And it's not negative. We don't have to worry about the ne and the pas. Patrick et Marc sont d'accord. Oops. Give away the answer to that one too soon. Numéro 6, Claire et Stéphanie. And non. No, they do not agree. Claire et Stéphanie, non. Claire et Stéphanie ne sont pas d'accord. Ne sont pas d'accord. You may notice that occasionally I'm missing an accent. The reason for that is that sometimes in these programs it can be very hard to get accents to work. And sometimes I can't get them on there. So for example, Claire et Stéphanie, there should be an accent on the E on the beginning of Stéphanie. So obviously when I have a chance, I'll go back and fix it. But when I was writing it, I couldn't get it to work. It just happens that way sometimes. Okay, numéro 7, ma copine. Ma copine agrees. Ma copine est d'accord. Ma copine est d'accord. Et numéro 8, the last one of this exercise, mon frère, non. He does not agree. Mon frère does not agree. Mon frère n'est pas d'accord. Mon frère n'est pas d'accord. That was fantastic. All right, we're going to have a little dialogue to translate from French into English. And you're going to write it in your notebook or you can do it out loud. It doesn't really matter which, as long as you're understanding the words that you see. Sometimes it's easier just to say it rather than write it, but you can write it if you want to. So here it is. It's a little conversation I'm going to read to you. Antoine, où est Léa? Céline, elle est à la maison. Antoine, et Mathieu? Il est là? Céline, non, il n'est pas là. Antoine, où est-il? Céline, il est en ville avec une copine. Antoine, that should be en ville, by the way, Ian. Antoine, et Julie et Stéphanie, est-ce qu'elles sont ici? Céline, non, elles sont au restaurant. Antoine, alors, qui est là? Céline, moi, je suis ici. Antoine, c'est vrai, tu es ici. Okay, you can pause while you're writing, and otherwise we'll go right on. We're going to see if you can translate the following paragraph from English into French. This is important to write in your notebook. This one you want to write down in French. And I'm going to give you a translation of it so you can compare yours to it. It doesn't make any sense for you to just look at mine if you haven't tried to do it yourself. This is how you're going to make sure you're really learning what we're doing. So here's our paragraph. Who's at the house? My mother is not at the house. She is at the restaurant. My sister is not here. She is at the cafe. My brother is not here. He is at the movies with my father. But I am here. So pause your video, do the translation the best you can, and then come back and see how it should be done. Okay, here's our paragraph in French. Again, pause your video, check yours against this one. Qui est à la maison? Ma mère n'est pas à la maison. Elle est au restaurant. Ma sœur n'est pas ici. Elle est au café. Mon frère n'est pas ici. Il est au cinéma avec mon père. Mais je suis ici. Practice reading your paragraph, which should be pretty much the same as the one I wrote, out loud several times. I want you to rehearse it and you can say it without looking at the paper for the most part. If you have to sneak a peek, that's okay. But we're going to try not to read it out loud. We're going to use this in our Flipgrid recordings, and we want to not look at the paper as much as possible. You have plenty of time on the Flipgrid to do this. You do not have to use all the time. But you may find that because it's the first full paragraph you're trying to do without actually reading it, that, it takes you a little while to get through because maybe you forget something or you have to stop for a second or whatever. That's okay. It's not about perfection. It's about doing the best you can do and doing the whole thing. So that's what we're going to do. When you're done here, you'll go to Classroom and it's got the link on it that'll get you to Flipgrid. Great job! She says you completed a lot of work today. Next, we're going to go to Flipgrid, where you will record yourself saying the paragraph you just translated in French without looking, for the most part, at your notes. It's okay if you have to look every once in a while. You haven't had to do this before. Okay, excellent. We are done with our video. So we are going to go on to our independent work. Je vous souhaite un bon après-midi.